hold up for like 10 issues. This seems like it could have 100 issues following it.
Everybody,
you know what I mean?
Everybody in this story could have in this even like the professor
the frogs
who,
could have their own.
Yeah,
story.
the professor who got shot in the first scene could have had like a backstory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what was he
and
working on?
We haven't even met Hellboy.
Yeah, and yeah, so it's barely scratching the surface of what comics or what a series can do. I loved it. I loved it. I gave it. I put it at 6, but it's probably a stronger. But we got a lot of comics to compete with. It's up against some serious competition. So, yeah.
So what do we got coming up next week?
Next week, I get a lot of recommendations from Comixology Unlimited, and one of the more bizarre ones. We're not going to read this, but I just want to try and file this under something. How did they find me? As an item of interest, I wrote, this was recommended to me from Comixology. Fruit Ninjas?
Oh, okay. Is that based off of the app, the game that's an app?
The Billion, yes. It's a comic book based off of a video game that you can play on your phone called Fruit Ninjas.
Beautiful.
It sounded really fun.
I like that art style.
It's crazy looking art.
I can actually imagine that being not too bad, or at least like a fun, easy read.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of depth there, but I kind of want to. I'm going to download it.
You're going to give it a glance. Let us know if it's a recent and decent next year or next week.
All right, but this is
or if it's just recent, not so decent.
I'll tell you right now that one of these is always playing at our house. In fact, we watched one tonight. I can't even remember the name of it. But James Bond is a solid, he's a piece of furniture in our house.
All right.
We are
There's a lot of them out there.
We are constantly watching Casino Royale. It is total.
Oh, yeah.
And so
I heard that Idris Elba is going to be the new James Bond.
Wait.
I think that's really cool.
I can't wait.
He's one of my favorite actors. Like, I loved him in Luther, and in, of course, The Wire. But he's
James Bond. So
I've thought that he should be James Bond for years.
That's so cool. I've read a couple of the novels. Like I said, I've seen a ton of the movies. It's constant rotation at our house. But I've never dived into the comics, and they've invited me to read them. So next week,
what's it called?
It's called Kill Chain. Came out in 2017. Number 1 of 6. It's James Bond, written by Andy Diggle with art by Luca Casalangudia. Nice. And it was published by Dynamite. So expectations might, like sometimes these property, these
the adaptations from a movie.
Yeah, so.
Well, we've had quite a few of them already. Some of them have done really well, and some of them have not done really well.
So mileage may vary.
Richard Starks Parker was great. Star Trek was not so good. Darth Vader was kind of middle of the road.
Yeah, so we'll see
how James Bond turns out.
We'll see how James Bond turns out. So next week we're going to get back here and we're going to enjoy some James Bond. Kill Chain is the name of the book. And before we go, we always like to just say cheers.
Cheers.
Hiking in New Zealand.
Yeah, snowboarding, hiking, walking the dog. It all sounds. Do they have interesting food in New Zealand? They have a lot of desserts.
Oh yeah, we talked about
that I've never had before. Yeah, the biscuit culture is big, and not like the kind you have with gravy.
I love biscuits with gravy. What are they doing different?
They call cookies biscuits.
Oh man, and you're drinking tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. All right, James. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you next week, Larry.
All right, bye.
Bye.